Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Okay, I'm going to leave a moment or two for people to come in live if they will be joining me. And today is a day to restore. It is so important that in your movement practice you have variety. And so you're not lifting heavy weights every day. You're not running like a crazy person every day. That the body actually needs a little bit of everything to be properly balanced. And if you're doing a lot of walking, a lot of running, a lot of squats, a lot of jumping, a lot of yoga, a lot of Pilates, your body gets tight in certain places. Or if you're like me and you have pre-existing injuries, you've had car accidents or just physical accidents in your life, you probably have a lot of stiffness that happens when you sleep and wake up in the morning. You might have from time to time something flare up that's been an injury for a long time. And so this practice today is for you. I happen to be in that boat. If you've been with us since the beginning, you've probably heard me complain over and over again about these little aches and pains that I have in my body. And it's so interesting. Just when you're like, oh, I have nothing to complain about, everything feels good, you wake up in the morning and splat, your old shoulder injury is hurting you. And so come back to this practice whenever you feel like you need some good self-care. Self-massage is a very empowering tool to keep in your self-care toolkit. I have an array of different types of, I think I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. You're okay. She gets a little anxious when I sneeze. An array of different yoga tune-up balls. Yoga Tune-Up is a brand. It's amazing. You can do some online trainings with them. I believe it's also called the roll method or the roll method. So there's different size of these balls, and they're designed with a very specific type of texture and fabric so that it grips to your skin, and when you turn it, it starts to pull at the fascia. The fascia is your connective tissue that sits just beneath your dermis, your skin. And if you've ever been in an accident, if you've ever had surgery, the connective tissue is where these sort of layers of scar tissue builds up. And so it's important to sort of roll it out. This is why massage feels so good. So I have these really big, huge ones, and it's good to keep them in the net they come in if you do purchase a pair. I worked at a yoga studio a while back that had these great tools, but some person had thrown out all the nets that they came in. Having them in the net means you can use them together like this or individually. And it's important, especially when you're rolling along the spine, you want to have the net. So I have these big, huge ones. I have smaller ones. I actually have ones that are called RAD, R-A-D, and these ones are fused together. And then you have these ones that have these like little nubbly things on them, little teeth on them. And these are really good for getting right into that really deep connective tissue and starting to break some of it up. I also have a set of blocks for today. Having these tools is somewhat essential. If you don't have these fancy, they're not so fancy, but if you don't have these specific things, you can use a tennis ball, you can use a squash ball, I would refrain from using a golf ball, those are really hard. A lacrosse ball, a cricket ball, not a basketball, not a soccer ball. So any small sports balls would work. You can also wrap up a couple of pairs of socks, or I was going to say a potato. We've been very creative when we've been at home in the last year and a half. So I will, if you do have a regular movement practice, which a lot of you body lovers do, you're committed to movement, invest in it. They're not very expensive. They will last many, many years, and they are so amazing. I also have a foam roller here today. So whatever you have, whatever tools you can use to create this sequence for yourself, do. Honor your body, listen to your body. Do not roll directly over bone, and avoid any nerves as well. So if you hit a point and you feel tingling shoot down your arms or in your hands, you've hit a nerve and you want to move the massage tool just slightly up, down, or to the side. Your body will speak to you. Your body will tell you, This is not good. Move. And just listen. Do what you can. Rest. Breathe deeply. And have fun. And if we haven't met before, hello, hello, hello. My name's Jamie Burke. You can also call me J Love. I'm one of the co-creators of the Body Love Mission. I've been teaching movement for at least 10 years now. And when I don't teach movement, I am a life coach. I'm an energy healing practitioner, and I really, I love what I do. I love empowering people to master self-love so they can thrive in their lives. And let's face it, a movement practice is a way to love and respect yourself. And when you love and respect yourself, you command that same love and respect from everyone and everything around you. So it's important to start numero uno. Okay, so I'm gonna start with, let's start with the foam roller, because I know that there's a bunch of you that do have the foam roller. And it doesn't matter the size of your foam roller. And we're gonna start with it at the neck, just underneath the neck. And I like to start with my knees bent. That's what feels best in my body. You can also straighten out the legs and just a bit of a rocking. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make little suggestions, follow those suggestions, or do what is intuitive for you. No one knows what's best for you but you. And I know that narrative hasn't really been supporting you in the last year and a half, but it's true. You know, and when you cultivate a deep connection to your body, when you have laser clear, crystal clear intuition, you know when something's up. You know when something's good for you. You see the way your body responds and reacts to everything you put in, everything you do. And so just learning to trust yourself is a big part of this journey. It's a big part of the lessons that we empower people with at the Body Love Mission. And then you might pause and gently rock your head from side to side. Oh, that feels so good already. And I remember when I taught these classes in person, how much people would just love and appreciate any amount of time of doing this quiet work. And just rock the head side to side. Nod the chin up and down. Draw little circles with the nose in space. And take those big full breaths. And you might rock like pushing your feet, like letting your feet push your body up and down. You're really good. And I'm gonna ask you to take a moment, just a quiet moment to yourself, and acknowledge what it is that you want to get out of this. Acknowledge what tightness or aches and pains might live in your body, what healing you might want in your physical body, just focusing on the physical body today. Being open to receiving any insight around what also lives in the emotional, mental body. And so sometimes when we do physical movement or massage, we hit a point in the body that evokes some emotion to come up. Sometimes we giggle, sometimes we cry, sometimes we just feel weird and uncomfortable. And so it's just being a little inquisitive with what is there, because there's always a story, and every experience we have, good or bad, lives in the body. And sometimes, it's triggered to remind us of something really awesome that happened, really amazing. And then sometimes it triggers something where we're meant to process the information, where it, brings up pain or sadness. And it's about just trusting that whatever is coming up to the surface is necessary, part of our growth, of our evolution. Good. And if you'd like to, you can roll over to your left side. And you're still leaning your head. You can still nod the chin. You can still rock the head. Or you can come into more of a twist here by hiking the right knee up and extending the right arm out. And we're going to do big, deep breaths here. And you might sweep the right arm up and down. Or you might be more focused on the left side of your neck. Or on the left arm, flipping the arm up and down. Just following the intuition here. You know your body is wise. Listen and guide, or be guided by that intuition, that ability to listen to the body and interpret. We all have it. And then it's just about reconnecting those wires from your brain to your body, or remembering your intuition. And the thing about intuition is we lose it for a number of reasons. We lose it because we trust others more than we trust ourselves. We lose it because the food that we eat disconnects us from our bodies, because it creates a lot of mucus in the body, which is a thick wall. We lose it because we go through hard times. We feel like we've made bad decisions. And so every little time that you get to honor the intuition, you get to grow that, and you get to reconnect that. Good. And then nice and slow, you can slide the right foot back and then roll all the way over to the right side. And again, you can make it a twist. You can reach the left arm back. And you can slide the left arm up and down. Try not to watch what I'm doing, but really just listen. Listening is such an important skill. Most of us are so good at talking, but we're terrible at listening. And actually, a lot of the work that we did in the retreat this weekend that I hosted in Muskoka, the For Your Inner Wild Home retreat, was really about listening, and learning how to listen with your eyes and with your ears, and listen to yourself and also listen to other people. Learn how to really read the body language, trust the body language. Good, or you can just roll over and massage the side of your right neck. The right side of your neck, that sounds a little bit more like it makes sense. And again, you can nod the chin, you can rock. I'm going to talk about this a little bit right now because you can roll right onto your cheek and open your mouth. A lot of people clench their jaw when they sleep. It's a place of a lot of stress and tension. And it is important to release that tension because chronic jaw clenching, tightness, stiffness can cause yucky things like migraines. And no one's got time for that. Good, and when you're ready to, again, slide the left foot back, roll to your back. Bring your elbows to the earth, exhale, firm your abs, and roll yourself up. Beautiful. From here, we're going to slide the roller down the back. And just lean back. Hands behind the head, hold the head, and you can rock along the spine. And I'll show you a few different ways to do this for those of you who do have massage balls, or for when you get the massage balls and come back to this video. And so you just look up yogatuneup.com, or you can go on, if you're in Canada, like Treadmill Factory. Any of these fitness equipment companies will have something like a foam roller, like the massage tools, and then you're just rolling up the back. And why I love the foam roller is you're engaging your core while you do this work. So you've got the hamstrings fired up, belly is firm. And then you can pause just at the shoulder blades, open the elbows, lean back if that feels good. Big breaths. Or you can firm your bum and lift your pelvis again. I'll leave that. If you want to continue to use the foam roller, you can. I prefer to use the massage balls. And so you can take the pair that's fused already, or you can take a pair that's in the net. I'm going to try these fused ones first. And I'm going to start actually at the shoulder blades. Now, if you need, always have blocks when you do this work, because you might feel like, oh, I need to prop my head up to feel supported in this shape. And again, legs can be straight or knees can be bent. And with the massage balls underneath the shoulder blades, I'm going to go arms up in the air. Just deep breaths. You can also do this standing against a wall. And if you're standing against the wall, the arms will go straight out in front of your chest. Internally and externally rotating through the arms. And you can reach the arms back. Move slowly when you do this work. And then reach the arms up in the air. You can float the arms all the way down towards your legs. You can reach right and left. Again, go slow. Or you can reach the arms out wide. Now, other ways to get the tools to roll up and down is just rocking your pelvis forward and back. Taking in as much breath as you like, releasing as much breath as you like. You can also bend the elbows. You can circle the elbows. Find where you feel that bit of tension or that bit of discomfort and explore into that through the breath, through the movement. After a few breaths, you might move the massage tool up higher or down lower. Again, listen to your body. So I'm going lower. And if it gets really intense, just pause. Use the breath. The breath is such a powerful tool for moving tension, moving blocked energy. Blocked energy is tension. I feel like breath work is becoming more and more popular now, and also it's here to support the collective. I mean, there's a lot of people who have been sick with an illness that affects the respiratory system. How do you prevent that? Or not necessarily prevent that, maybe that's not possible, but how do you keep your respiratory system healthy so that if some foreign invader does make its way in, it's functioning as optimally as possible? And doing things like expanding your breath, really learning how to use the diaphragm, how to use the pelvic floor, how to expand the capacity of the lungs is to do this practice every day. And I know many, many years ago, I was a smoker. I know, believe it or not, I had that habit. It was an addiction. And I had a lot of lack of self-love. I had a lot of trauma to heal. And when I was smoking, I remember getting sick all the time, little colds, flus, nonstop. I was sick. And then it took a period of detoxification, purification of the lungs, of the body, rebuilding the immune system in order to, find myself healthier more of the time and not getting sick as often. Yoga was such a huge part of that transition for me, and pranayama, breath work. Really getting the lungs healthier helped to push all that old residue of smoke, of chemicals out of my body. And so we forget that the diaphragm is actually a muscle, just like the glutes, just like the abs. And the same way we condition those muscles, we want to condition the diaphragm. We want to breathe deeply into the lungs, those big, beautiful organs. And what do? We breathe in life, right? Our breath is our life. So practicing toning our life force energy is so valuable. not just physically, but what it does to the emotional body and the mental body is profound too. And there's science that backs this up. And if you're curious, definitely look it up. I'm not a scientist. I'm just someone who believes in the power of this stuff because it's had such an incredible influence and impact on my life and on the lives of the clients that I've been working with over the last decade. Good, and I'm working my way down intuitively. That's what feels good in my body here. And so doing things again, like rocking the pelvis, pressing into the feet, squeezing your bum, lifting up. And then just slowly placing the roller, the balls a little lower and a little lower. I'm working towards my sacrum here. And I'm noticing, oh, there's a lot of tension in my sacrum and my lower back. And what's interesting about the body is it's all connected. So as you start to release tension in the low back, you might notice your shoulders don't feel as tight as well, or your jaw doesn't feel as tight as well, or maybe that your digestion just works better. And so, sometimes we're like, oh, well, why should I do this every day? When you do this every day, you get to see the ripple effect that it has on your overall health. And that's what makes you want to do it every day. Because we rely more on ourselves and the tools that we have for self-care rather than, medication once we're sick. And so we do this stuff as a way to ensure our vitality, to protect our vitality. And making your way down or up, going all the way down into the tailbone. Then you might decide once you get down to lift one foot up at a time. And you can use your Pilates here. A lot of you have done Pilates with us. And so you do want to firm the abs a little bit before lifting one of the feet up off the floor. And when you lift the foot up off the floor, you can circle the knee around. So starting to mobilize the thigh bone within the pelvis here while also getting into the back, into the glutes, the upper part of the glute max. Good, and you can always cross that ankle over the opposite leg to continue to explore the mobility. Or you can extend the leg in the air and circle the ankle. Spread the toes. Shape the leg. And then go over to the other leg. Again, just moving through the knee. Well, you're not moving through the knee. You're just using the knee as a point to create a circle. And we're actually impacting more of the glute and mobilizing, like I said earlier, the leg within the pelvis. Because it's important to be strong, but it's also important to be mobile. Have a freedom in movement in the body, not just strong and tight. And you can cross that ankle over the other thigh. Or reach the leg to the sky. Point the toes, flex the foot. Circle the ankle. And then bring it back down. Okay, so I've made my way all the way down my spine with that first tool that I've used, or the second tool. And you might come all the way just flat onto your back for a few minutes here, or a few breaths here, and just move the knees side to side. Or hug the knees to the chest. Or reach your nose towards your knees. Or you can bring the soles of the feet together to touch here for a few breaths in this shape. Or legs open wide. And I titled this Self Massage and Restorative Yoga because these shapes are restorative. They do come from yoga. No, it's not classical restorative yoga, but I think that any yoga that's not activating, that's not like a vinyasa or an ashtanga where you're building heat, where you're just moving slow and being mindful, I think any of those yin, more passive, slow types of yoga are all restorative. And shake out the legs. You can bounce the heels towards the bum and bring the feet back down. Let's straighten out the legs here to the earth, lying flat. And here we're gonna move the feet up and down so the whole body springs up and down. There's a rock that happens. And big deep breaths all the way in, all the way out. Good. And another few moments here. And if you're feeling a lot of tension build up in the inner thighs, just pause. You can massage into the inner thigh. Tell the hip flexors to relax. If you follow the line to the inside of the hip point into the hip flexors, the psoas, just give it a little massage. If you have trouble going to the bathroom, this is a really good part of your body to massage, especially the left side, jiggling the belly. And for those of you who think it's normal to go to the bathroom every few days, it's not. You're dehydrated. You need more living food, more water. Katie's got some really great videos on our YouTube channel about all that, the importance of living food. And the importance of moving out toxic waste from your body. That's what moving our bowels does. And also knowing that there's an emotional connection to that. If you have trouble going to the bathroom, you probably also have trouble expressing your emotions. And it's good to do some energy healing, some psychotherapy. If you know, you need to move some of that stuff and really start talking about it, getting it out of the body, out of the body. It's all better out of the body than in the body. And then bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet back to the earth, hug the knees to your chest and rock yourself up to sitting or roll off to one side. Okay, so the next one, I'm gonna give you a little tutorial before I lie back down, doing a time check. Okay, great. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come to lie down, place a block against either a wall or the couch, and then it'll go block, ball, and then shoulder. So this is what it will look like. So I'm doing this sitting up, but I'm going to do this lying down. And so what we'll do is we're going to be stimulating the fascia in the neck. These little muscles get very tight. Why do they get tight? Because we love doing this. Or this. Here, I'll show you what this comes like. Or this. Or this. Okay, so we all tend to have a lot of tension in the neck just based on our lifestyle. So I'm gonna go for the sharp one this time, and I'm gonna start on the left side. So I'll place my block against a firm surface. So my couch, this one has a bar here, so it's firm. And then I'll put the massage tool down, and then I'm gonna shimmy down and slide it right up into my shoulder, into my neck, the side of my neck. So the left side of my face is sitting right next to the block. The ball is sitting below the block, pressing against the top of my shoulder and the side of my neck. And you can move the left arm up and down. You can look, turn away from it, so look to the right side. You can look slightly left, but you can't fully look left because that block is there. Now, I've seen this happen when I've taught this in class, that people will rest their head on top of the block. If it feels good, go for it. It's not meant to be on the top of the block, but you might lift the head up and just kind of lean it over to the left. Really deep breaths here. And just repositioning the block. You can also put a little bit of the top of the shoulder over the ball. And so you're just sort of lifting some of the flesh up, resting on top of the ball, and then pushing down into the ball. Big deep breaths. So again, if you're not sure how this looks, I'll sit up and you can see this is what the orientation would be. And I'm just holding it in place. I wouldn't do this when I'm lying down. And for those of you who are here live, I really want you to leave a comment afterwards in the YouTube and let me know how this felt after. Let me know if you have any questions. Because lately I've noticed a lot of people watching the videos and not giving us any feedback, not telling us that you're here or watching it. And the whole purpose of what we do is to be able to share with others, to be able to support others. And so we need your help by liking and engaging in the video. It changes the algorithms of who gets to see it. So the more you like, the more you write comments, the more people get access to this information. And this information can be life or death for people. You know, some of us fall into deep depressions because we don't have the tools to take care of ourselves. These are the tools. And so I'm going to thank you now for helping those around you, for helping the collective. And again, breathing deeply, pressing as hard or as softly as you'd like into this tissue in your body. Finding a little rock, finding a little jiggle. And again, you can reach the arm up in the air and circle it around like you're punching someone. You can cross the body. Just find where you feel sensation, where it feels good to explore that sensation with breath. So good. So much trigger points here. Big breaths. Breathe through your mouth to move that energy. We don't want it staying in your body. We want to release it. And when you're ready, you can cross over to the right side. So I'm just going to slide the block over, slide the ball over. And right away for me, I feel way less tension on the right side. There's way less going on. I already knew that. Just making little mental notes of what you find in your body. Okay, I'm carrying lower tension in this side. Maybe I need to focus more on this side. How am I sleeping? How can I support more balance in the body? And just constantly course correcting, doing what you can to create this balance. We are all striving for harmony, for balance in our lives in all the ways. And so maybe you start with the physical body because it's the easiest. And that's really sort of what our philosophy is in Body Love Mission, is starting with the physical body. So starting with the food and the movement, and then getting into the emotional and mental bodies, into the healing that's required to create the freedom that we want in our lives, to step into the confidence, to manifest the things that we deeply desire, whether it's the new job, the more aligned, more respectful, more honoring relationship, but it all starts with you. And it starts with those simple things that we can do first to taking care of the physical self and then moving into the deeper layers. It's important that you go at your pace. Breathe deeply, move slowly. Again, making those little adjustments as you need to find the tension, find the trigger point. Maybe wave the right arm in the air. Again, that cross body sort of punch motion. And you might realize when you do a little bit of this, oh, this is so good, I could do this for an hour. Do it for an hour, watch the video again, or just stay. You know, press pause. Stay in the spot. Now I'm going in for those points where a lot of people carry tension, the low back we did, the shoulder blades, the top of the shoulder connected to the neck. I'm going for those big juicy spots, but you might feel like, oh, I need to get into the glutes more. I need to flip onto my front body and place this in my hip flexor or in my groin, or maybe step on it, put it on top of, or put the ball under your feet. Where does your body need some love today? I'm gonna do a little time check because I know how quickly time flies when we do this kind of stuff. Big breaths, slow movements, a little bit of rocking, rolling, jiggling. Good. Look to the left. And you can stay on this side a little bit longer if you need. And we're gonna come back to the shoulder blades because I just wanna focus on the upper body today. So again, either staying there if you are content. And this time I'm gonna go with the netted balls, the smaller ones. Usually the big ones are for glutes. So if it's smaller, these ones are just slightly smaller than a tennis ball. You can also get ones that are flat at the bottom. Katie uses one of those to warm up in the mornings, warm up the feet. Okay, so I'm gonna start at the shoulder blades, but this time I'm gonna go up. And you know what, I'm gonna take them out of the mat. Yes. And again, you can do this against a wall, standing, if not lying down. And it's really nice to do standing because you can do sort of some squats. While you do it, you kind of bend your knees and straighten your knees. Okay. Oh, I found a real gnarly spot right away in the top of the shoulder blade. And so what you can do here is gently move the knees side to side. Take the elbows out, press them down. Again, press into your feet, rock. I'm gonna scooch my bum down so the balls start to go up higher. Now, if your head is rolling away, just take the block with you, or you can hold the head. What I like doing here, once the shoulder blades are supported with the ball, you can reach the arms out wide, wrap your arms around your body like you're giving yourself a big hug. Big deep breaths into the hug. Yeah, make that guttural sound. It feels good, right? We're pushing stuff out of the body. Sound is a really potent way to do that. And you can lift the elbows up and down. You can gently rock them side to side. You can open the elbows and then close the arms towards each other. Or you can cactus the arms and just circle the elbows. Again, listen to your body, follow your intuition. And it's interesting too, when you slow down, all of a sudden you just find that sweet spot where you're like, oh my God, this is so intense, but necessary. And I found that spot luckily right away on my left side where it's like, oh, there's just this massive knot. It's this tightening of tissue that is begging to be released. And again, you might shimmy down a little bit, let the ball come up a little higher so it's sitting just at where the neck and the shoulders start to meet. And you can shrug the shoulders up and down. You can circle the elbows again. Find what works for you. Listen to the body. At some point, I like to ditch the block and just hold my head. You can turn the head side to side. And once you get to that point where you can actually just release your flesh over the ball and bring your head down. Rock the head side to side. Or maybe separate the balls a little wider. Place them a little higher again. So I'm kind of just like rolling my shoulders back. It's okay if the ball pops out, just put it back underneath your body. So just sort of squirming around, rolling around. And don't go too hard. We don't want to cause any damage. Be gentle. We're probably nearing the end of today's practice. Yes, we are. And so with the 2 blocks, let's set up a restorative shape for the last couple of minutes for your Shavasana. And we're going to do a chest opener since we've been working with the chest, spine, the upper body. And what you'll do is place one block at its medium height at the top of the mat. The second one a little lower down, maybe half a foot, at its flattest height across the width. And then you'll shimmy forward, bring the base of the shoulder blade to the bottom of that first block, the one that's closest to you. Shoulder blades sit flat, and your head rolls back to be supported by that next block. Elbows, arms open, legs. Find the place where you can surrender into the shape here. You could also put the balls on your underneath your glutes here and really get a double whammy of release. But again, it might be really intense, and right now we just want to calm the nervous system. So find a spot and a way to lie where you totally just soften. Take a moment here and just thank yourself for being slow, for being introspective, for being open to the themes that presented themselves today. Whatever information kind of made you perk up a little bit. Maybe setting a further intention based on today's practice. Making a different choice around how to nourish your body, how to feed your body. Making a different choice around, doing this self-massage thing more regularly, making time for it. And just always doing the best you can for yourself. And always doing a little bit better and a little bit better. My partner actually said this to me, there's always more we can do. So instead of saying, I'm doing the best I can, just having that more expansive place where There's always more I can do. There's a little bit more I can do. Maybe I could go to bed a little earlier tonight. That's something more I can do. Or turn the TV off, read a book. There's a little bit more I can do. And if you need just a few moments flat, completely flat on your back, give that to yourself. So, and allow the body to integrate, to flush out everything that's been stirred up in your body. It's very important. They tell you this after you take a massage. Sometimes they even offer you a drink right away before you leave the massage room, is drink lots of water, good quality water. Living foods, things like fruits and vegetables that have high water content. Really hydrating all the cells that you've been stimulating. And feel free to stay here and rest, or stay in your practice, massaging a bit more and a bit more and a bit more if you need to, doing what you can to do a little bit more each and every day. And thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. And I hope this finds you well. I hope this serves you over and over and over again. Sending you lots of love. Ciao for now.